Just before we get started with this video, I do want to say that it's brought to you by me, or rather another channel that I do call Business Blaze. It's a channel that has absolutely nothing to do with business, just mostly making fun of things. There is a link to it below. In the world of fine arts and antiques, there are plenty of grifters hoping to pass their forgeries off onto museums, and some who are so bold as to try and even fool members of the royal family. But there are also plenty of people who are more than willing to spend bundles of cash on a grilled cheese sandwich from an old lady claiming that the Virgin Mary's likeness is burned into its butter-toasted surface. Yes, from wacky eBay list items and one person who sold his forehead for ad space to forged priceless artifacts and some less than sanitary celebrity memorabilia, here are 10 of the most expensive items that turned out to be absolutely worthless. Number 10. Ghost in the jar. A jar supposedly containing a ghost was sold on eBay for $55,000. The man claimed he was selling the jar on eBay because the ghost was terrorizing him. The jar, of course, came with a disclaimer that the seller would not be held responsible if the black thing was released and that all sales are final. If you think this is a rare occurrence on eBay, you'd be wrong. We did a quick search for ghost in a jar on the marketplace and discovered one seller offering their alleged trapped poltergeist for the low price of just $5,000. Though the item did eventually manage to close for $55,000, the buyer never actually paid for their trapped ghost surprise. Maybe they had some intense buyer remorse. But our question is, what would have happened if the buyer had completed their purchase? What would their reaction have been when they realized that they'd spent all of their hard-earned cash on just an empty mason jar? Number 9. Collector's bottle of whiskey. An unlucky and loaded customer in the Waldhaus am See Hotel in St. Moritz paid a whopping $10,500 for a glass of whiskey coming from a bottle of Macallan Scotch whiskey marked with a label dating all the way back to 1878. Experts expressed doubts over the Scotch's authenticity after comparing the bottle's label with those imaged in newspaper articles from the time that the whiskey was allegedly made. The hotel and bar manager, Sandro Benasconi, felt compelled to commission the help of analysts from Scotland to test the Scotch's authenticity. When those tests came back, however, they proved that the bottle is actually a blend from 1970 and is basically worthless. These analysts used carbon dating tests that suggested a 90 to 95% possibility that the Scotch was made between 1970 and 1972. The hotel had no idea that the bottle was fake and gladly refunded the customer, who happens to be one of China's highest paid online fiction writers. Number 8. Real pirate treasure? In 2015, an American explorer claimed he had discovered the remains of the ship belonging to the infamous pirate Captain William Kidd off the coast of Madagascar, as well as his treasure. The man, a marine underwater investigator named Barry Clifford, declared his findings in May of 2015, stating that he'd found a 110-pound silver ingot. This provoked a team from UNESCO, the United Nations cultural body, to visit the site of Clifford's alleged booty to see if there was any weight to his claims. Unfortunately for Clifford, the UNESCO report showed that the silver ingot he was so proud of was actually just a lead weight. In fact, no ship remains were ever found. It turns out what Mr. Clifford actually found was a broken part of the St. Mary port construction, a small island located just east of Madagascar. It gets better though. Barry Clifford went so far as to film a television series based on his hunt for Captain Kidd's ship and even presented the ingot to the Madagascan president and the United States and British ambassadors. The man even claimed that UNESCO was wrong and that they were robbing Madagascar and the people of Saint Marie of this discovery. This wasn't the first time Clifford had clashed with UNESCO though. In 2014, he claimed to have discovered Christopher Columbus's flagship off the coast of Haiti. Number 7. A treasure trove of Roman coins. Treasure hunting pair Paul Adams and Andy Sampson thought they'd hit it big with their metal detectors when they came across what appeared to be a trove of ancient Roman coins. The two of them danced around screaming Roman gold in the field where they found the coins, which they thought would be worth over $297,000. The two went from being overjoyed thinking they'd be able to pay off their mortgages to having their dreams crushed after an expert told them that the coins were total fakes. What's more is that a TV production company had left those fake coins behind during the filming of a popular BBC comedy series about people just like Paul and Andy called detectorists. The show's first episode even shows the fake coins being buried in a Roman-style clay pot and then being unearthed 2,000 years later. Number 6. Grilled cheese Virgin Mary. Would you believe that a grilled cheese sandwich could fetch $28,000? Well, neither could we, but it's true. In 2004, an internet casino confirmed they had purchased a sandwich featuring what's thought to be the image of the Virgin Mary, believing it to be worth the lofty price tag since at the time it had become a part of pop culture. Diane Dizer, the original purveyor of the mystical sandwich, claims that it has never molded in the 10 years since she made it. The casino's CEO said that they would use the sandwich to raise money for charity, but we haven't been able to track track any information down after the purchase was made. Maybe this is just another case of buyer's remorse. Number 5. A fake collection of Chinese relics. The Jibaozhai Museum in northern China's Zhizhou closed its doors for good in 2013 when it was revealed that its priceless collection of ancient Chinese relics were most likely all fakes. To put this in perspective, as many as 40,000 pieces in its collection are thought to have been forgeries. However, one of its consultants, Wei Yingzheng, insisted that the situation was not that bad, saying that it was a good thing that only about 80 pieces in its vast collection turned out to be the real deal. One savvy internet user suggested that the Chinese museum reopen as the Museum of Fakes, with a winning slogan like, "If you can't be the best, why not be the worst?" We're not talking about a small museum either. Its 12 vast halls cost over $7 million to make. China has seen many of these kinds of fake museums pop up over the years following a cultural boom, but it would be difficult to fill all of those institutions with authentic artifacts, and China has a rich history of creating forgeries. In fact, art factories in China export low-cost forgeries of famous Rembrandt and Van Gogh paintings, and some antique shops have been able to create replicas of Chinese artistic works that fool the eye. Number 4. Human ad real estate. Andrew Fisher, a web designer from Nebraska, sold his forehead as ad real estate on eBay for $37,375. The winning bid belonged to a company called SnoreStop, which offers a variety of snoring remedies in stores like CVS and Walmart. Surprisingly enough, Andrew's listing gained a lot of attention from various companies, and he went on to sell his forehead real estate again the following year, claiming he was going to use the money to put himself through college. Andrew has since gone on to found a viral marketing company called Nerve.com, but also regrets letting the stunt go to his head, literally suggesting that maybe there's more to being a successful businessman than being known for gimmicks. Though in the spirit of this video, we have to wonder how well other companies did in recouping their ad costs, considering that they wouldn't have had the benefit of Andrew's news coverage. Number 3. Worthless diamonds and sapphires. An audit of a Czech National Museum's collection of diamonds and sapphires in Prague showed that many of the items within their collection were complete forgeries. Before the audit, the collection was thought to be worth millions, and now it's worthless. One, a 5-carat diamond in its collection, was revealed to be nothing more than cut glass. Another, a sapphire which was supposed to be 19 carats, was revealed to be a synthetic forgery. The sapphire, at least, had been in the museum's collection since the 1970s and was originally purchased for around $10,000 and would be worth millions today if it wasn't a total forgery. In fact, the inspection only covers the museum's first 400 out of 5,000 precious stones and minerals, and the museum creators are not pleased. At least half of their collection of rubies has also been revealed to be synthetic. Museum officials are now considering the possibility that they might have been the victims of a con job, but tracing all of the transactions may prove to be extremely difficult, as the person in charge of the collection back in the 1970s is already dead, and though the valuables were kept locked up, it will be difficult to figure out what might have happened. Though we're probably not the only ones thinking that this sounds like a pretty epic plot for a heist movie. Number 2. Britney Spears' chewing gum. Right up there with celebrity bathwater, a fan of Britney Spears bought a wad of chewing gum which had allegedly been spit from the pop star's mouth for an insane $14,000. Normally a used chewing gum wads go for $5 to $100, a fact that is still mind-boggling. But unfortunately for that lucky bid winner, the eBay lister actively bid against him in order to drive up the price so high. The seller only offered a picture of the piece of chewing gum with a ticket stub to one of the pop star's concerts where they allegedly found it. But there's no way to prove that the gum was actually chewed by Spears. As an honorable mention, Spears' used cigarette butts, Kleenex, and used bath towel were also at one time listed items which the seller considered to be priceless. Number 1. Worthless palace furniture. In 2016, an antiques dealer in Paris, Bill G.B. Palot, became the most infamous man in the field of French arts. Palot admitted to police that he had orchestrated the forgery of 4 chairs built to look exactly like replicas of those used by King Louis XV. Palot also admitted to duping the Palace of Versailles when he sold the chairs to them for $1.9 million. The government even classified 2 of the chairs peddled by Palot to be national treasures. Palot's business rival, Charles Horman, was the one who noticed that the chairs were forgeries. Horman noticed the work on the chairs to be of Palot's gilder and carver, as he'd used those same people on restorations for years, claiming to be intimately aware of both their strengths and weaknesses as artists. Palot was later arrested and served 4 months in jail and was last reported as awaiting trial for fraud, money laundering, and tax evasion. Charles Horman, however, is busy tracking down each and every one of Palot's forgeries, suspecting that he scammed numerous institutions. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button below. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out that channel I mentioned at the beginning, Business Blaze. There is a link below, and thank you for watching.